What's up, fuckers? This is another episode of Hoggie's Beer, and this is a more personal episode of Hoggie's Beer than anything you've seen so far or you will be seeing anytime soon. It's late, I couldn't set up the way I wanted to, but I still wanted to do this video because I've been promising you guys Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's Monday night. So I want to give you a video on Tuesday, and honestly, I want to talk about this beer right here. A lot of you may have never seen this beer before, and some of you may have seen this beer, but you don't have kind of like the cultural relationship with this beer that I do. This beer, and amazingly, I've been known, for being on YouTube talking about craft beer, and IPAs and malt liquor, and a lot of beers that I've shown a lot of love towards over the years. But you guys really don't know the place that Hollandia has in my heart. And notice, you guys might pronounce it as Hollandia, Hollandia, I don't know. But we call it by the Spanish pronunciation, Hollandia, because I am from Miami, and that's where I grew to love this beer. Now, I only have the 1/16 ounce. I want to talk about it. I want to share it with you guys, and I want to try to be brief. So here we go. 16.9 fluid ounces of traditionally brewed Hollandia premium lager beer, brewed. See if we can brewed in Holland. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, get right to it here. This is not a great beer. This is the European version of a bad beer. It's a Euro bad beer. It's not as good as Heineken. It doesn't command the price point that Heineken commands, but it holds a special place in my heart and in the hearts of many people from South Florida, especially those of Cuban or some kind of Hispanic Latin American descent. More on that in a sec. This really, within my neighborhood, within people who know of this beer, this is known as the poor man's Heineken. Now, I can only speak from my own personal perspective and my own personal experiences. Being Cuban American, growing up in a Cuban American community, Cubans generally drank Heineken. I've talked about this before. Reason being is that because of the embargo that's been in place since the 60s or whatever, American products, American beers are not sold in Cuba. So when Cubans immigrated to America, they were not familiar with American adjunct lagers. They were, however, familiar with Euro lagers, specifically beers like Heineken and Beck's, because they were sold in Cuba. The embargo didn't affect them because they were being shipped from Europe, instead of from America. So Cubans came over here and continued drinking Heineken and Beck's because it is what they were familiar with, and it is what they recognized as a more quality product, an imported quality premium beer. Especially when you get used to drinking like European lagers, and then you drink an American lager. The Euro lagers do not taste like corn, and they do not taste like rice. So then you go have a Budweiser or a Miller or a Busch, and you go, what the fuck is the taste in this thing? So generally speaking, Cubans didn't really drink the American stuff. They drank a lot of Heineken. But Heineken is a little on the pricey side. You are paying the import price. Enter Hollandia. Hollandia and its little brother Bavaria, Bavaria as we call it, which I'm sure a lot of you are also familiar with. They're brewed by the same company, imported by the same company. And around the early 2000s, Hollandia and Bavaria started showing up in South Florida, Miami-Dade County. And we started drinking them because you see it, brewed in Holland. It's, got the green going on. These in the bottles are green. Bavaria, the bottles are green. You associate green bottles with like Heineken and Euro beers, Euro lagers. So we gravitated towards them because of the lower price point. And for all intents and purposes, they did not disappoint. It is the poor man's Heineken. Especially Hollandia. This is my personal thing here. I will always have fond memories of this beer because when I was in my mid-early 20s and I didn't have that much money to spend and I didn't want to drink swill, I wanted something a little better tasting, I bought this stuff. Not just because it's imported and it's a European lager, not just because it's cheaper, but because they don't anymore, but they used to sell the tall cans, the 16-ounce tall cans of Hollandia in 6-packs. for the same price, more or less, as they sold the 6-pack of 12-ounce bottles. Now, you tell me, for about the same money, are you going to get 6 12-ounce bottles or 6 16-ounce cans? This has been the only beer I think I've ever seen that was sold in 6-packs of 16-ounce cans. They did away with that, I guess, sometime in the last maybe 5 years. Now that's 4 packs of these 16.9 ounce cans. But this is the beer that got me through Hurricane Katrina, guys. This is a beer that, you know, when I was hard up, going to the gas station late night with like a couple of singles and some change to get a 6-pack of 16-ounce cans for like $5, more or less. It was under 6. I bet you money it was under 6. So I wanted to share this beer with you guys. You know, Hoggie's Beer. I'm sharing memories here. We're talking about beer, you know, and we're sharing stuff. And I know a lot of you guys don't have this beer available to you, but I know a lot of you guys have seen this beer around and have hesitated because you think it's just some really raggedy, you know, never heard of it, probably small time, crappy, wannabe, watered down Euro lager. And let me tell you, and the people out there who have tried this will vouch for it, it is a poor man's Heineken. It's not a piece of shit. It's not like a, you know, a one-time kind of deal, some little raggedy brewery that's only brewing like one beer. No, no, no. It's actually a pretty decent beer. And once again, no corn, no rice, no adjuncts. Okay? If you want something close to a premium Euro lager for a decent price, Hollandia is the way to go. And I have drank a ton of these over the course of the last like 15 years. Because that's a problem. You know, if you want for the people, and going back to like, you know, the old school Cubans in my neighborhood, and everybody who did not want to drink Bud, Miller, Coors. People who wanted like a good import, a better tasting import. Heineken costs money. Beck's costs money. Lowenbrau costs money. St. Pauli Girl costs money. Hollandia, hey, wait a minute, affordable alternative. Also Bavaria. The thing is that Bavaria, at least back in the day in my neighborhood, and they're made by the same brewery, but Bavaria was sold in the mini bottles, like little 8-ounce bottles. So it was cool because you're getting like a 6-pack of little bottles for like, you know, 4 and change. $4 for a 6-pack, but they're mini bottles. But I mean, it's along the same lines of quality. Now I'm not going to bother ever, you know, doing a video on Bavaria. I got love for them, but not as much love as I do for Hollandia. But just to let you know, it's up there in the quality level. You know, same people, same brewery, and same mentality. And yeah, man, just a little piece of my home, man, a little piece of South Florida. These beers, you actually see the trucks, the beer delivery trucks, the 10-bay trucks, or whatever you call them, with the big Hollandia logo splattered on them, because this beer, in the course of less than a decade and a half, has become very popular down here because it really did become kind of an affordable alternative to those who enjoy a good German lager. And I'm sure Heineken's not happy about it, because I'm sure they took some Heineken's market share from this area. I don't know exactly when they appeared down here, but it must have been the early 2000s. I started drinking them probably 03, 04, in that area, and definitely they were established by 05 when Katrina hit. So that's that. So just sharing a little piece of my home, man. Hollandia. If you see it, you know, try it. If you like Heineken and don't want to pay the Heineken price, go for it. Now, in all fairness, when I was short on money and, you know, just trying to buy whatever cheap beer, decent tasting beer I could get, my two go-tos were the 6-packs of 16-ounce Hollandia cans for like 5 and change, or a 6-pack of Miller High Life for, I think, $4.08. The gas station had them at $4.08 back in the day. So I don't think I'm completely shitting on the adjunct lagers. I've drank them. They have a place, but for those who appreciate and prefer the more refined, less adjuncty Euro taste, this is a good way to go if you're on a budget. Killing that brought back memories. Now I gotta check the weather channel, see if there's a hurricane coming, because it is hurricane season. Thanks for watching. Remember, it's Hoggie's Beer. HoggiesBeer.com, Hoggie's Beer on Facebook, Hoggie's Beer on Twitter, Hoggie's Beer on Untapped, and all that good stuff. Man, just tune in. Tuesdays, Thursdays, new videos, new beer. Next time I'll have something a little more commercially accessible and available to the masses. But for right now, a piece of my home. Hope you enjoyed it on the quick and dirty tip, and I'll see you in a couple days.